Hello, I'm Connie Rutledge, CEO of FINNovation Lab. Thank you for joining us today to hear from the fourth cohort of the FINNovation Fellows. Our fellowship program supports early-stage social entrepreneurs for 9 months, and you're about to hear the culmination of this cohort's work and their vision to change the world through the impact of business. Enjoy!
Do you ever stop caring for your child? As a foster, I knew the state would stop caring for me at 18. I'm all too familiar with the foster care system. See, my mother is a foster who has been affected by every statistic: high school dropout, incarceration, and a mother of 3 by the age of 17. And because of the lack of guidance and connections, my siblings and I grew up in the foster care system and later became a ward of the state. I personally experienced aging out. Hello, beautiful people. I'm Cherie Gill, CEO and founder of The Right Reach. I completed high school and went off to college. I got my first job at 14 and moved into my career field when I was 20. At a young age, I built a community of friends and caring adults that I still consider family to this day. Most will say I was lucky, but in reality, I had my village, my squad members that individually and collectively looked out for me and always had my best interests at heart. Unfortunately, this is not the case for most fosters. Fosters are aging out with a deficit of relationships that support them in their transition into adulthood. There are over 500,000 youth in the system every year, and 2 out of 5 will end up homeless, incarcerated, or dead within 3 years of exiting. 25% of my fellow fosters will never get their high school diploma or GED. In Minnesota alone, there are 800 youth aging out, and less than half will have gainful employment by the age of 24, which makes fosters the most predictable and preventable population. Therefore, The Right Reach was born to support social service organizations that are challenged to have better outcomes for youth aging out of foster care. The Right Reach provides techniques, tools, and expert guidance to work in collaboration with youth to take charge of their futures. In doing so, organizations can be freed of their bias and youth freed of their dependence on social services. My research with service providers and young people confirmed my assumptions that the lack of intentionality, cultural competency directly affects youth's experience within the foster care system and outcomes. Service providers feel like they are working in silos with separate goals, with results in youth feeling like they don't belong and are disconnected. This compounds the already existing challenges for a foster whose family support is already absent. We are spending $48 billion a year on these outcomes, mostly taxpayer dollars. If we can capture $217,000 of the $3.1 billion spent on average in the 7-county metro area, we can touch over 350 young people in the first year. Our approach is to create a sense of belonging and provide a safe space that respects and celebrates everyone's individuality. Facilitators are culturally competent with lived experience, and we're going to do this by building pipelines to success, new experiences and learning, foster-friendly employers and advocates, fundamental relationships that lead to economic opportunities. We do this through a self-directed or group card activity called My Squad, which helps young people identify the relationships that they have and don't have as they transition through different stages of life. The workshop is a deeper dive into the deck and expands on building healthy relationships and connections that they deem necessary for the current stage in their life, and then empowers them to take agency over their lives and be inspired by being a member of someone else's squad. Career coaching is the next phase and becomes available after a young person has completed their workshop. Youth can add the Right Reach staff to their network and explore professional opportunities that lead to employment. This year is all about finishing out the product development and securing our first contract. Develop the deck, workshop curriculum, and proof of concept through Q3. We've built some traction with potential and future customers. These are the elements of our business, and here's where we see the alignment with the respective partners and clients. There is a need for community partnerships in this space, and we hope to influence more collaboration across the field. We believe we can build this in a profitable way from the very beginning. We see a good jump in growth where we can do 29 workshops in the fiscal year 2023 and continue from there as we train more people in the use of our curriculum. Our success is measured by our ability to build confidence in young people and resources that support a successful transition into adulthood, as well as increase the number of young adults in skilled trade positions from underrepresented communities. Shout out to my squad, who has been instrumental in rolling out the Right Reach, Ann Berry and team in Ramsey County Social Services, Jenny Wright Collins, Executive Director at the University of Minnesota YMCA, and Sam Ebu at Career Constructions Foundation. And because you can never have too many squad members, we are seeking partnerships with individuals and organizations that can be part of the village to help raise a child. Every child is one adult away from a success story. Thank you.
Have you ever wondered what magical qualities librarians possess to be able to pull a book from thin air based on the very few descriptors you give them? Hi, my name is Katie Rutterath Martin. I am the founder and CEO of OneShelf, and I have a secret to share with you. I first learned about this secret when I was a student in my Master of Library and Information Science program. I was shadowing a reference librarian, and during one of our sessions, a mother and her son came walking up to the desk. She asked for a book for her son that was about a Black character that was adopted and had ADHD. Now, the mother couldn't see the librarian's computer screen, but I could. As I watched, I saw that the librarian didn't go to the library catalog, or to Google, or to the numerous literary databases that I had been told about in my program. Instead, she pulled up an Excel spreadsheet. This spreadsheet points to a larger problem that not only exists in libraries, but in the book industry as a whole regarding diverse subject accessibility, specifically relating to intersectional identities. This mother wasn't looking for a book about a Black character, but a Black character that was adopted and had ADHD. This mother could not find a book on her own because there is currently no way for readers to discover books with intersectional identities using literary databases. If this information is included in those systems, it's because a staff member at that specific location entered the information in manually rather than it being available to all systems when the book was first published. OneShelf's solutions to this problem incorporate inclusive identifiers into cataloging practices. We do this by enhancing the discoverability of books in literary databases through keyword searching and browsing, so book industry professionals can rely on their existing systems rather than having to go to Google, other literary databases, or creating their own spreadsheets. We also help save professionals time by eliminating the need for manual entry. As a social enterprise, our impact goal is to increase the discoverability of intersectional books in the United States. We do this by increasing the number of intersectional terms that are used to catalog books, increasing the number of books circulating in existing systems that use these terms, and increasing the number of literary databases that incorporate these terms into their keyword searching and browsing capabilities. Our team currently includes myself as the founder and CEO and Dr. David McCoskey as the CTO. I graduated with my Master of Library and Information Science degree in 2020 and worked as a librarian for 2 years, and David has been a software engineer for over 25 years. OneShelf's products and services include an intersectional identities dictionary and app for readers. If the mother searching for a book for her son had gone into her local bookstore instead of the library, looking for the same identifiers of a Black character that was adopted and had ADHD and come up with no results, she could go to the OneShelf app and enter these identifiers into our crowdsourced dictionary. When a user enters a term or terms, we would then take them, turn them into subject headings, and use them to catalog books. For our B2B customers, we offer a plug-in subscription for seamless incorporation into their existing catalogs. This allows them to rely on their existing databases instead of going to Google or outside resources for information about diverse characters. The book industry is broken down into database management vendors at the top, publishers, and then libraries and booksellers. While OneShelf's competition is known for their cataloging and subject headings, their terms are broad and cover a wide range of subjects. You can also see from this diagram that our competition is positioned to help libraries specifically. One Shelf, on the other hand, focuses on cataloging character identities and is positioned to work alongside publishers. This allows us to make diverse character information equally accessible to libraries and booksellers. One Shelf's total available market includes 87,890 literary businesses in the United States. Our target market focuses specifically on public libraries and serving urban and suburban populations, as well as independent publishers and booksellers. Our market share is estimated at $1.97 million and 263 literary businesses based in the Midwest. With our average customer spending $7,500 annually, we are projected to generate $1.1 million in revenue by year 3. Our Intersectional Identities Dictionary is currently an MVP that is available for anyone to use on our website. We also have a prototype of our database that we will begin beta testing this summer. Our interim goals are to include an upgraded version of our dictionary as well as a pilot version of our database. And our future goal is to have our dictionary, app, and plugin subscription available for our customers. One Shelf's vision is to create a world in which books with intersectional characters are accessible to all people. But we can't do it without your help. We would like to invite you to join us at our upcoming book fair in partnership with Feminist Book Club. Together, we are hosting this free event on July 23rd at Harriet Island in St. Paul. Everyone is welcome, and we are currently seeking vendors for our event. Please help us to spread the word and create the change that is needed so everyone can see themselves represented in literature.
Once upon a time, there were mermaids who looked like me, mysterious and graceful, wild and free. My ancestors were navigators of the sea, masters of the ocean and divers of the deep. They were mermaids, just like me. I am Dr. Ayana Raku, and I have been an aquatic professional for over 20 years, with experience as a USA swimming coach, lifeguard instructor, and scuba diver. Additionally, I hold a PhD in kinesiology, with a majority of my research centered on developing swim curriculum that offers an Afrocentric view of swimming. I founded Sankofa Swim Academy because of my lifelong passion for swimming and a desire to see Black communities reclaim a positive and safe relationship with the water. People of African descent have a long history of being exceptional swimmers. In fact, prior to the 20th century, Black people across the world proved to have superior skills in swimming, diving, fishing, surfing, and boating. Unfortunately, there has been a cultural disconnection between Black people and the water, which began with the historical trauma from the transatlantic slave trade and continued into the 1900s with systemic racism and segregations of pools and beaches, all of which ultimately led to the disengagement that is still present. Currently in the US, 64% of African Americans do not know how to swim. Additionally, African American women have the lowest engagement in swimming across race and gender. And African American children are drowning at 5 times the rate of Caucasian children. African Americans also represent only 1% of competitive swimming and 8% of the aquatic workforce. Ultimately, the lack of swimming skills among this population has resulted in devastatingly high drowning rates and low swim participation. Some of the most common barriers to swimming for African Americans are accessibility to spaces that feel culturally welcoming and inclusive, a lack of swim training that is both meaningful and applicable to this population, and a lack of support from family, community, and society at large. Despite these barriers, there's a high demand for swim programs that center the Black experience by having Black swim instructors, a culturally responsive environment, and predominantly Black participants. With these barriers and demands in mind, I created Sankofa Swim Academy, a swim school that provides programs for people of African descent to learn life-saving water safety skills. We demonstrate cultural representation, we provide culturally relevant teaching styles and curriculum, and encourage swimming as a cultural norm in the Black community. Sankofa Swim Academy offers training that develops life-saving skills. We provide lifeguard and swim instructor certification. We also develop swim curriculum that can be integrated with after-school programs, existing aquatic facilities, and community organization initiatives. By offering services that prepare individuals to be confident and comfortable in a variety of aquatic situations, we aim to reduce drowning disparities, increase Black aquatic participation, and increase the aquatic workforce. We are most interested in working with a target market consisting of community organizations, schools, and military recruits, specific to the Navy, Marines, and Coast Guard. We do have some competitors who also offer swim training to our target market. However, our main feature that sets us apart are that we provide research-based, trauma-informed, and culturally relevant curriculum that can be delivered in a variety of locations. Our business model provides 4 streams of revenue, including sponsorship from organizations that support our mission, programs that come with curriculum, equipment, practitioner training, and yearly updates. We also provide individual and small group training, as well as branded merchandise. We currently have traction with several organizations across the US and internationally. We plan to increase our traction exponentially over the next year by focusing our efforts on brand awareness and partnership development. Our growth will be achieved by meeting several milestones over the next 3 years, including the launch of our small group training sessions, implementation of programs with participating organizations in our Midwest market, and then increasing our partnerships in the national market and eventually in the international market. There are several ways you can support the work of Sankofa Swim Academy. First, you can connect with me on LinkedIn to learn more about the work we do and any upcoming projects. Also, feel free to reach out with any media opportunities, such as podcasts, radio, or television interviews that support topics around swimming or health and wellness specific to Black communities. And we're always looking for partnership referrals with schools, community organizations, and military recruits, or any organizations that support our mission to educate, equip, and empower our participants in their ability to swim. Your help is much appreciated as we work toward creating a world where everyone swims.
I'm laying on the bed with my newborn daughter, and we finally get to see eye to eye. She's here. After 15 long and transformative hours, I'm surrounded by my midwife team, my husband, and my parents. I blossomed into motherhood flourishing and felt safe, joyful, and supported. Fast forward 8 years later, on September 30th, I was induced and had a preventable emergency C-section. I touched my baby's finger through the thin plastic that was keeping us apart before she was whisked away to the NICU, where she spent the next 52 days. I watched her fight hard to hit her milestones, get strong, and come home to meet her siblings. This time, I blossomed into motherhood, scared, exhausted, and traumatized. And to this day, I'm still healing. I'm Monica Jones, and I'm a mother of 3 girls. I've seen both sides of maternity care in this country, and unfortunately, my last birth story is a story that sounds familiar to a lot of Black and brown women in this country. Currently in the United States, 60,000 women experience complications during their pregnancy or birth, and Black women are 2 to 3 times more likely to experience these complications than white women. This is the largest prenatal health disparity according to the CDC, and over 50% of these complications are preventable. But when we are dealing with healthcare providers that aren't culturally competent, navigating intimidating healthcare systems that are hard to speak up in, and not able to access quality healthcare, it makes it difficult for BIPOC women to have a stress-free and joyful pregnancy and birthing experience. Women in this country are experiencing different pregnancies and births based on their race, and that is a problem we can't wait around to fix. Here's our solution. Melanated Mamas, a maternal wellness platform that empowers BIPOC mothers to navigate their maternity care so that they can advocate for their needs and speak up when necessary. Save time researching for education about their pregnancy and feel celebrated and supported during their journey. We are on a mission to make a positive impact on the BIPOC community by increasing BIPOC mothers' knowledge of maternal health, the usage of doulas, and access to pregnancy and postpartum products. We do this through a 3-pronged approach. Empowering education like childbirth and self-advocacy that is bite-sized but impactful, a curated subscription box of products from BIPOC and female-owned businesses that support you through every stage of pregnancy and postpartum, and a community of supportive mothers and experts for a safe and judgment-free space. The pregnancy and postpartum industry are on the rise. Due to the increase in the birth rate and increased focus on postpartum care, currently it's a $4.5 billion industry with an average of 3.5 million babies being born each year in the US. Consumers in our market are currently spending $105 million, and with our marketing efforts, we are forecasting to hit $214K within our first year and aspire to reach $500,000 in 3 years. Currently in the US, 50% of the pregnancy complications that occur happen after birth. And because of this and the effects the pandemic had on new mothers' mental health, we decided to start our product line with a postpartum box. Our simple business model allows us to cater to a variety of customer needs using a 4-tier pricing model, which includes free access to our community of supportive mothers, which is part of our Give Back program. By 2025, we will have 3 boxes in our product line, which will allow us to move to a subscription box pricing model so that we can guide and empower mothers from conception to postpartum. So, who's making the magic happen at Melanated Mamas? I'm the founder and CEO and childbirth educator. I have a background in visual merchandising, human resources, and corporate retail. And I understand the importance of amazing customer service and great company culture. The expansion of the team will start with an advisory board of industry experts to ensure we are culturally responsive and an operations team to ensure our logistics process is running smoothly. Here's where we are headed. We are launching our postpartum box and crowdfunding campaign in August of 2022. We will make our first seasonal hire in Q4 to prepare for the holiday season. And in 2023 and 2024, our efforts will be focused on expanding our team, scaling our operations, and launching in 1 major retailer. We envision a world where every mother is treated like a human being instead of a patient. A mother that feels safe, joyful, and supported during her pregnancy and birth. The melanated mamas of our country deserve this, so we ask you for your support. First, follow us on social media to stay connected and up to date. We are also asking for strategic partnerships to help us navigate the logistics side of our business and connections to organizations that are in the maternity business. And lastly, maternal industry experts that can provide education to our community. This support will not only change the lives of mothers, but it will allow them to reclaim their power back, put them in the driver's seat of their maternity care, and allow them to blossom into motherhood flourishing. So, are you ready to be part of the solution?
Nyajong and hello everybody. My name is Ju Mo. I'm the founder and CEO of North End Consulting, and in Hmong it's called Pa Con Du. Pa Con Du is named after the North End neighborhood of St. Paul, which is a gateway to so many communities in Minnesota. Hmong, Somali, Hispanic, East and West African, they're all my neighbors. They're all part of the North End. I have 15 years of experience in community development. I have a background in research and monitoring and evaluation, and working in the Hmong diaspora community in Vietnam, Laos, Thailand, and China. And now I'm coming back to the North End. North End Consulting is centered around community and culture. We base our vision, mission, and values on this collective culture and the environment that we are a part of. For individuals like Grandma Ya, sending out a piece of mail is hard. She tells me there's 2 sides and 4 corners, and 7 out of 8 chances of getting it wrong. That could impact her healthcare, her housing, her transportation, and her connections to social services and businesses. Conversely, social services and businesses may have a hard time accessing target markets like Grandma Ya or the Grandma Yas of the North End. This may happen because there are barriers such as access, barriers just such as language skills, and just knowing what to do. From our partners in government, in nonprofits, and in businesses, they tell us what their troubles are, what they have to navigate, how complex their problems are. And we take a research-based approach at analyzing what common themes come out. Nonprofits, governments, and businesses need capacity building. There's a need for culturally appropriate programs and approaches. And there's a recognized discomfort and misalignment in being in places or situations that you're not used to. From here, we've identified the problems that there is a need for cultural intelligence in developing solutions. The Asian Pacific Islander communities need services that are centered around them. From this, we've developed impacts that we want to focus on to increase cultural competency and cultural accessibility in services, and increase organizational capacity of Asian Pacific Islander businesses and organizations. And we bring in a team of professionals with niche expertise in their respective fields. An example of what we do is working with government like Ramsey County, helping the Hmong grandmothers of the North End neighborhood vote. They may live 3 houses away, but it might as well be as far as the moon because no one's there to take them. No one's there to explain to them what voting is. They still have no access to vote without our help. Our business model is simple. It's a sliding scale. We work with businesses, organizations, government. Whatever they need, we will customize an approach and build a solution with you. Our market segment is Minnesota government, Minnesota nonprofits, and Asian-owned businesses in Minnesota, numbering over 42,000 entities. Our total available market is 70 billion. Our target market is 44 million. If we have only 22 engagements a year, we will be making 225,000. If we continue this trajectory, we are slated to grow 3 times our current revenue in year 3. Although there are other firms in our market, we are part of an ecosystem. North End stands out because we offer research-based and cultural-based solutions. Our competitors are also our partners and our clients. We are part of the same environment. On our timeline of milestones, we've already secured funding. We have proofs of concept. We have a public launch, and we're working for continued growth. And we are building a consultant pool to build on our community assets to handle more complex problems. Our current partners are local government, businesses, community organizations, universities, and coalitions. Now we're positioning ourselves to assist social services and businesses build capacity, navigate culture, utilize cultural intelligence to reach their target market. Team North End is composed of me, Mr. Shan Lee, who graduated from Johns Hopkins University, Jujia Tao from Humphrey, and Yap Bao Jia, who is a cultural consultant and author. Our ask is for you or your organization to assess how you practice cultural competency. If you're interested in what we do, please contact us and how we can form partnerships. Consider investing time, money, or support to the North End. We're excited to have you.
As a disabled former professional baker, it's always been clear to me that efficiency and accessibility go hand in hand. For example, if I could get a coworker to help me refill the flour bins by lifting and carrying the 50-pound bags of flour for me, I could maintain my work speed. But if I had to do it myself, the quality and speed of my work significantly dropped. If I could carry fewer 50-pound bags of flour during a shift, that meant I could go home and enjoy the rest of my day, rather than go home and be so exhausted and stiff that I couldn't get off the couch. These access needs of mine were met under very specific circumstances. If understanding coworkers were on a shift with me, or if I had the emotional capacity to advocate for and justify the accommodations that so drastically improved my experience and performance at work. Over time, what I was working on and where I was working changed, but I found the same inaccessibility everywhere I went. This is because our world is inaccessible by design, and inaccessibility affects everyone and every organization. Inaccessibility continues to exist for a few reasons. One, there's the perception that disabled people are an outlier group, but in reality, 30% of the Twin Cities and the world are disabled. 2, the current legal accessibility standards are outmoded and insufficient. 3, organizations don't know where or how to find vetted, actionable accessibility information. And this lack of knowledge leads to the perception that accessibility takes more time or energy than organizations are willing or able to give. That's where Spoonful Accessibility Consulting comes in. We connect organizations with substantial, timely accessibility standards, and through a disability justice approach, we offer support in creating and achieving impactful accessibility goals. We are providing a much-needed starting place for organizations in their accessibility journey, because we know every organization has the ability to do better with their accessibility. Today, our help desk is kind of like an accessibility search engine. Organizations can ask any question about accessibility and receive a prompt, personalized answer from us. A 1-hour consultation is a great way to find quick and impactful solutions to pressing or short notice problems. With our event and programming consulting services, you can hand off the accessibility work to us and then get to see all of the magic that can happen at an accessible event. My name is Hannah Hendricks, and I am the founder and managing director of Spoonful Accessibility Consulting. I am a disabled entrepreneur who started and successfully operated a food delivery service during the first year of the pandemic that focused on accessibility, not only for me, myself, the employee, but the clients as well. I graduated from MCAD in 2020 and spent a large part of my undergrad studying disability culture and how to make my own work accessible. But access needs are varied, and so Spoonful will regularly consult an accessibility advisory panel with people with a diverse range of lived experiences and expertise. All the work we do at Spoonful creates a ripple effect of positive change that extends well beyond the Twin Cities. There are 2 specific high-impact goals for creating a more accessible Twin Cities that Spoonful hopes to realize. We want to increase the number of accessible events and increase the number of organizations and businesses with disclosure-free accommodation policies. In June, we'll be continuing our social media campaigns about disability awareness and developing community partnerships. In July, which is Disability Pride Month, we'll be busy preparing for our launch and first annual event, Disability Pride. By mid-September, we will have 20 help desk subscriptions and 3 1-hour consultations under our belt. I'm asking you to get involved. Follow us on social media, check out our website, and spread the word. If you or someone you know would be interested in our services, let's set up an introduction and get you on the growing waitlist for Spoonful Accessibility Consulting and work together to create a more accessible Minnesota.
Do you remember your first birthday? Not when you turned 1, but the day that you were born. Do you know that your presence deserves a celebration for you and your mother? And that each and every one of us are here today because our mothers were willing to share their bodies and risk their health to bring us forward into the world? This is why the business of birthing and birthing justice is essential. My name is Brittany L. Wright, and I became a maternal health advocate after experiencing birthing and postpartum complications when I had my daughter. I wasn't listened to, affirmed, and I nearly lost my life giving birth. My doula, which is a birthing advocate and companion, didn't show up because there weren't enough doulas to meet the need of babies being born at that hospital. And within the first year of my daughter's life, I returned to that hospital or adjacent facilities 56 times within the first year of my daughter's life with health issues that didn't exist before pregnancy. And this is why I created Holistic Maternal Care Family Services, dedicated to creating and maintaining holistic wellness for women, children, and families. But I didn't start here. These experiences led me into a career of health and birthing justice where I've served as an executive manager at the largest federally qualified health center in the state. I've been a part of changing laws that directly impact birthing disparities. I created a brand centered on motherhood. I've been featured in national and local publications for this work, and I currently lead infant and maternal health outcomes for the entire state of Minnesota through the Governor's Children's Cabinet. But still, there's so much more work that needs to be done. And this is why I created Holistic Maternal Care Family Services, because Black women are 3 to 5 times more likely to die than their white counterparts from birthing and birthing-related complications. And according to the CDC, over 60% of these deaths and injuries are preventable, with the leading cause being medical bias. I created this organization because when I researched which hospitals were the least likely to let my child and I die, there was no magic algorithm in Google to help you source out bias. I created this organization because I want to address the lack of diversity within the workforce and the lack of data available on the effectiveness of culturally specific birthing practices. Our other mission is to create a database of culturally competent providers and facilities that allow birthing parents of diverse backgrounds to make informed decisions on the care that they receive and who they receive care from. And we plan to do this through our program, Do the Right Thing, which is a doula training and certification program that aims to diversify the medical workforce and address racial health disparities. Participants will not only become doulas and provide care to our families, but they'll also receive professional development, advocating for public policies, writing and publishing information on culturally relevant birthing practices, and supporting our families in navigating social services, and of course, so much more. Now, the total available market for doulas and midwives within the industry is $3.4 billion, and our target market is $456 million, which equates to about 12%, the average percentage of birthing parents that currently use doulas. We expect this number to raise drastically now that the CDC has recommended that every birthing parent have a doula to accompany them during birth and postpartum. But for now, our estimated market share is 0.004% or $1.5 million in revenue, with $510,000 in net profit annually. Now, these figures are based off of our goal to train 25 doulas a month at a price point of $5,000, profiting $1,700 from each training. And with 25 doulas trained per month, we'll train 300 doulas annually, and our goal is to do this for 3 years before we scale and pivot. Now, if those doulas, those community leaders even choose to practice what we've taught them part-time, we'll have supported over 750 birthing parents in their wellness journey. And this is significant because currently over 700 birthing parents die annually. And we're already in the process of doing this work. Do the Right Thing has already won a pitch competition and been awarded a grant to help our team grow and get started on curriculum development. We're always engaging with potential clients and birthing parents through engagement, thought leadership, and events. And our plan is to provide direct services to women, children, and families by next year with the support of our partner organizations who have existing facilities. But by 2025, our goal is to scale and pivot, not just providing training, engagement, and thought leadership, but 4 quadrants of care that address women, children, and families holistically. The services that we'll provide will be adjacent to what you'd find in birth centers, med spas, and community clinics, but none of those organizations provide intersectional care like what we're aiming to provide. Now, of course, we don't do this alone. I have a team of 7, 3 contractors and 4 advisors who help us move this work forward. And that's where you come in. My hope is that you'll join our team of advisors, that you'll support us financially as a sponsor or an investor, or that you'll support us through strategic partnerships. Now, what my daughter and I experienced was incredibly traumatic and unfortunate, but I still consider myself to be lucky because I was able to transform my pain into purpose, and I'm living here to tell my story. But these women, none of them are alive to tell their birthing story anymore. Each and every one of them lost their life due to a preventable cause. And with your help, you and I can move forward, making sure that not another family has to plan a funeral when they should be planning a birthday party. Thank you.
Weddings, dinner parties, conferences, festivals. Our lives are marked by events. And as an event planner, I love connecting people on these special moments. With over 8 years in the industry, I've also seen the dark side of events. The bags of trash being hauled to the dumpster at the end of a fun evening. From food waste, packaging, signage, and more, meetings and events have a huge negative environmental impact. If you've ever been to a conference, as an attendee, you're producing up to 2.5 pounds of landfill per day. For a 1,000-person event across 3 days, that can equal the same amount of waste as the weight of 2.6 small cars. And with 1 in 8 Americans food insecure, my heart breaks every time I see caterers tossing perfectly good meals into the trash. And I'm not alone. Event organizers, companies, and couples agree that sustainability is important. But the journey to getting started can be challenging and overwhelming for planners and event teams. I've been there, but now as a certified sustainable event planner, I've witnessed how with a few changes to the way that we plan, the event industry can shift from wasteful to a powerful tool for good. I've supported amazing events like TEDx Minneapolis in meeting their organizational values. Like many planning teams, they knew they could be doing more to reduce their waste and carbon footprint, but had no idea where to focus without compromising high-quality design and attendee experience. I'm Ashlyn Pradzwicki, the founder of Loom Collective. We're an event planning and design agency on a mission to bring sustainability and social good into the event industry. We offer full-service planning and sustainability consulting for existing events and planning teams. By working with us, we save the TEDx team time, research, and money, guiding them on vendor and material sourcing, designing a climate-friendly menu, composting, and eliminating single-use waste. While we love working with clients and couples on their individual events and weddings, we have a bigger vision for an industry where all events are designed with sustainability in mind. This means equipping more industry professionals with the knowledge and confidence to incorporate sustainability into their own events. With that, we offer an education-focused platform with toolkits, vetted vendor directory, and digital community hub to share simple sustainable swaps and get event organizers the resources they need. As a company, our goals are to design out waste and reduce industry carbon footprint, support local economies, and increase the number of industry professionals that are equipped with sustainability resources. We believe that sustainability is intersectional and prioritize designing more inclusive and accessible experiences for all. As the event industry reemerges from the pandemic with an increased demand for live events, we're well positioned to support the industry to meet the growing demand for sustainable products and services. Of the $55 billion US event industry, we can expect that our target market will encompass $1 billion spent on sustainable events and industry education. Our market share will center on the Great Lakes region as a starting point. While there are many competitors in the event industry, we bridge the gaps between sustainability education, high-quality design, and local support. Our creative agency model is tiered based on our clients' individual needs and projects, with our educational offerings designed to meet individuals where they're at on their financial and sustainability journey. Our team of 3+ advisors brings together over 20 years experience in the wedding and event, marketing, and design industries, working in the private, public, and academic sectors. We'll spend year one perfecting our design framework and developing our educational content. Year two, we'll begin promoting our educational offerings for planners and wedding couples. And by year three, we seek to expand to other cities as the go-to digital education hub for all things sustainable event design. You can support our mission by helping us grow our community. Share with someone in your network who plans events or would be a great partner. Or book a consultation call with us and help us get to know how you can align your organization's events with your values. Imagine if every wedding and event planner in Minnesota took one action this year and simply reduced their food waste, we could collectively save over 750,000 pounds of food from the landfill. By joining the Loom Collective, industry professionals and individuals alike can partner with us, illuminating a movement where events prioritize what matters most: people, communities, and our planet. Thank you.